Well, at least we hit 1,000. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are live for the first time ever on Shameless Shilling. Welcome. If you guys have followed my channel, you guys know I'm NF Tinker. I cover the Web3 section of the internet. Guest today is LukeJ.eth. It's LukeJ.eth, right? So what got you, like, what year did you get into Web3 exactly?
I started kind of looking at it late December 2020. I got into it April, it was like March or April 2021. Was when I opened up the wallet. I already had
Oh,
some like crypto and stuff. But like speaking on just NFTs, I was around April 2021.
dang. So that's actually like, that's pretty like recently, like, honestly.
Recent when I mean it depends on who you ask. I mean,
That's true.
I
That
was
is
one of the
true.
like I think it's some I'm not like the earliest. Like I didn't get punks. I was around for apes. I didn't mint them, but I think I was one of the first 500,000 wallets to have an
Dang.
NFT. Which I mean, it's how early do you want to say that is?
That's true.
But
See, I'm honestly not really like I don't really understand like what is because people keep asking me who are like the OG NFT people on Twitter, and I look at people like I've been here for 2 years, and people are flexing on TikTok. I've been here for 10 months. I'm like I've been here since 2017, but I didn't even think like that was because I just did Crypto Kitties. Like when I found out Crypto Kitties, I love Beanie
yeah,
Babies. That's all they were, so I got obsessed with them. And apparently, like that's early enough, but I didn't
oh
really like
that's
learn too
way
much.
early.
Apparently, but I didn't like I thought board or CryptoPunks was 2 months before I got a wallet, so I didn't even know about them, and I didn't know there were other NFT projects except for them and the NFT trading card game. There was it was like Gods, something like that, like Unchained
Gods
Gods,
Unchained.
Gods
Yeah,
Unchained.
Gods
Yeah,
Unchained. Sorare was kind of around maybe like 2018, 2019. The Ringers art project was around. Art glyphs or whatever it's called. But yeah, like no one really remembers them.
yeah.
People
Honestly,
slept on them and now they're worth a lot.
yeah. I got into crypto keys at basically at the boom, and then my computer GPU exploded. So I lost my wallet because my wallet was on a notes pad on the computer, and I pulled the SSD, but you can't recover it because apparently it's like mainboard framed on there, which sucks. So I lost about like $5,000 of Ethereum back when it was worth whatever it was worth in 2017. So I've learned to hold on to my like wallet keys in 10 different ways now because that was painful.
Yeah, that was too yeah, that's tough. So I guess how I got into it, I long story, I'll try to summarize it as quickly as possible. I worked at a payments company. Processing e-commerce transactions, and every quarter our CEO would be like, "Hey, these are our strengths, these are our weaknesses, these are our threats, these are the competitors that could one day maybe unseat us." And he'd always talk about Ethereum. He's like, maybe 10 years, Ethereum could take over payments. I'm like, okay, like you're a smart dude. So then I started buying Ethereum. Then it's like, okay, I can buy JPEGs with these. Um, Ended up getting laid off from that job, got a nice little severance package, and then had some money to gamble on JPEGs. And I started at the perfect time, like a month before a bull run. You would just mint something, and it was before reveals. So you could just, I had nothing to do, I had no job. So I was just sitting here and I was sniping rares because things would reveal and I understood the traits and really just lucked into the like a really good time to start buying JPEGs. That makes sense.
That's interesting. No, that's definitely cool. Everyone has a completely different story, but I feel like definitely the onboarding community early on was a lot more important than and a lot more interesting because it was a lot harder to onboard people. But was your first wallet on MetaMask?
Yeah, I didn't do like Flow or I kind of passed on Top Shot because I didn't like NBA. That was a miss. Um, but yeah, I just would sit down here. I'd learn how to. It takes like 2 hours to set up your first MetaMask because you don't know what you're doing. And it's like, okay, sweet. Here's my MetaMask. Let's like transfer it from Coinbase. One sec.
No worries, man. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out something just happens to the camera. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the
My wife just came home.
Oh, dude, mine's coming
uh,
home in like 5 minutes. I feel that.
yelling at the dog. But yeah, it
Oh,
was just a MetaMask wallet. You know, you go through the tribes and the stipulations trying to set that thing up, send your Coinbase Ethereum over, hope it gets there, and then it's like, okay. And I started buying. The first buy was a gutter rat with the Tom Brady jersey. I'm like, this is sick. And then it pumped. I made like 3x in like 14 days. I'm like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. I had zero clue what I was doing, but it was right place, right time.
Oh, that's how it is, man. I'm so jealous of everyone that has a CryptoPunk right now, like CryptoPunk and Bored Ape from the early mint,
Yeah.
because that's just no one knew. Like I don't think anyone really could have known. Even the creators said like this was not in like our intention, but it whatever works, man.
The funny thing is, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I love the people that are like, I'm not really that smart. I was just kind of just sitting here smoking weed, gambling on stuff, and I bought some apes. And now I changed my life. Like I love those people that don't try to act like super smart. Like, oh yeah, I bought all these apes because I'm so smart. Um, but yeah, I love people that made a ton of money off apes. It's like the dumbest thing ever. And I'm not even like jealous. I'm proud of them. They
Yeah.
held for so long. Like when they first pumped, this kind of like maybe like a month before this time last year, they were at like 12 and a half and a ton of people sold. So many people kept on holding. And like I was unemployed at that time last year. I was sold at 12.5. So sometimes I think like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
happy I don't have one
No,
because I'd
honestly, the amount of
I'd
times I see
be
people get
sad.
like be given one, because I know that like God hates NFTs. They give away a Bored Ape, and I'm like, if I
Mhm.
got one, I could not like business wise. I know it's the best to hold on to it, distribute it, blah blah. But yo, a flat 100K, 200K, whatever the price of it was, or it will be whenever you get it. It's insane because it's so tempting just to off sale for the cash. Because there's other projects that like worth go from like 20 to 2,000 at least, but yeah, it's all about the district. So how much money do you think you put into NFTs in the past? What it's now been like 8 or 16 months for you?
I've only put 3 Ethereum in.
Mm.
And where's the I guess we could run the oh no, I can look at DApp radar.
Oh, Dapper, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, you can sign into your MetaMask and they kind of tell you your stats.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, show me my wallet. Come on,
that's interesting.
Ethereum. Portfolio. Take me to my portfolio. Um, come on. Go to my overall spend. I did like 400K in revenue
You're
over
kidding.
the last year. I bought a ton of World of Women. I bought like 5 of them, sold a ton. I
Ah,
bought 5 Rumble Kongs. I literally was right place, right time. Had no idea what I was doing, but it was just like buy something,
so
money go up.
how did you find about World of Women? Because I didn't find out until NFT NYC, and by then I think most of the profits were already gained.
Oh yeah, January was the absolute top. I sold one at the top. I sold four not at the top. Um, that like this time last year, there was like 2 or 3 drops a day. There was no allow list. It was just show up, give them your money, and anyone could kind of get it. I had bought one, and then like 30 minutes later, Gary Vee started tweeting about it. So it's like I will ride
Oh,
the Gary Vee pump, and then I just spent every dollar that I had in my wallet on it. Then I sniped a rare tuxedo on secondary for 0.19. 21 days
dang,
later, I sold it for 11 Ethereum. It was 28 grand in like a month.
dang, dude, that's insane. I see people do it all the time. Like, cause there's one guy on Twitter I know I watch, and he just casually like buys Bored Apes and then sells them for like only a 2 to 5 ETH
Yeah,
profit. But that's two to
Franklin.
five ETH profit, even though it's like low for those. It's insane to hear for like just a casual NFT like observer. So
Personal.
that's crazy, man. So you follow Gary Vee too?
I have 2 V friends. Yeah,
You have two V friends? Oh my gosh, I'm jealous. I am
I
jealous
bought
of that.
one. I probably bought one at the top. Then I got a rare for 8.5. Trying to flip that one right now.
8.5. See, dude, that's insane. You made that much, bro. I was talking to my nephew, not my cousin today, because he knows he's getting into NFT making right now, and my parents are like, oh well, Daniel's into NFTs. And he's like, oh, yo, how much money have you made? I'm like, I haven't made a single cent. He's like, wait, why not? I'm like, well, I make money on crypto and I put it into NFTs, but I don't sell my NFTs. Like this bat collar I'm wearing right now cost me $300, and I could sell it right now for I think around 500. But I don't know. I'm really bad at selling things. Like I have a whole Funko Pop collection. I've only bought maybe
Oh yeah.
5 of like 30, and I'm like, I can sell them. Like Professor Xavier was a gift. I don't like him that much, and it was worth $90 when Multiverse of Madness came out. I'm like, oh, I could sell it. I just never did because I just like collecting things way too much.
I have so many sports cards behind me. Yeah, it's so
Really?
much fun to collect stuff. Yeah, that's the sports cards has been a good background, I guess, before getting into NFTs. It's the same game.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like just like collectors in general are really drawn to the NFT space. That's why I got into the Cryptos Kitties things. I was just a lifeguard, and my swim instructor or the lifeguard instructor that was my old instructor was like, "Hey, you're a tech guy, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "So what's your what's your favorite crypto NFT?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So he explained it to me, thinking I already knew it, and that's the whole reason I started. And then now recently, my wallet just got liquidated. I fell for a. Have you seen the new scheme going around for content creators in Web3?
No, I haven't.
Dude, it is dangerous. It got me hard because we're all cautious, and they feed into that cautiousness. So they make an email, the exact same email as a like an actual NFT brand. The one that got me was what's it called? Dogami. And Dogami is literally like a dog-based NFT company. They do amazing stuff. I love their NFTs. And he's like, "Hey, we just want to send you a contract for like I think it was like 9K for 3 months of videos, non-exclusive. We'll send you a contract, read it, let us know." And I read I'm like, "Okay, I'll just read the contract. I'll play it safe." And he sent me a link to Google Drive to download the contract. I downloaded the contract like an idiot, and while I was down, I'm like, "This is like a 3 GB contract." So while I was downloading, I clicked on it. I looked at inspect. It said like it was signed by Binance. I'm like, "What contract is signed by Binance?" So I tried to uninstall it, but at that point, it already like hit me up. Took like 5,000 from my wallet, cleared it out. I think it took 2 of my Bagners, which
Oh
that
sure.
it was a free mint. So I'm like, "Oh no, you took my free mint stuff. What a shame." But I'm just glad I learned it when my account was worth like only like 5K and not back when it was worth like 25K last year. So have you onboard people to the blockchain like yourself?
um, not many people. Maybe like one or two friends. I don't
Really?
really. I'm not one of those people. Like I am fascinated by like startups and businesses and all that
Okay.
stuff. So that's why I like to talk about like projects and kind of dig into that. But like buying pictures on the internet, like I think it's a crazy thing to buy NFTs.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna try. The couple times I've tried, it's never worth it because it's a lot of legwork. It's like you're getting the texts. How do I set up this? How do I set
Yeah.
up that? How do you like? It's just not worth my time. I think a lot of people are smart enough to figure it out if they want to. So
Yeah.
that's I'm not going to be like I'm onboarding people because it's so hard. I maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but like the people that are like I'm trying to onboard XYZ into the space, it's like you're probably not doing it that often.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah. That's why what I've been doing recently is I put my personal Instagram story that's closed out from the rest of the world. I say, "Hey, if anyone wants to get into it, DM me. I'll record us doing it together, and I'll put it on a YouTube video. So all the questions you just had, I will send it to anyone else who will have those questions, and they're like, 'Oh yeah, that sounds good,' and I'll explain it as basically as possible. But honestly, the second you say like you have to have a Chrome extension, they almost immediately shut down. Like I just feel that's why I like Gary Vee a lot. He's like just put in the 10 or 20 hours of work, and you'll understand almost any concept or any yeah, just like anything at least its basis. But you just don't want to, which is fine. But just don't say like you're trying. So that's what I love Gary Vee. When he got into NFTs, that was like my saving grace. But they're too expensive for me. And then they blew up. I'm like, dang it. Then Series 2 blew up, and I think does he have a Series 3 right now?
I don't think Series 3 is coming out till like 2 years from now.
Okay, because I knew Series 2 came out, and he had those books. It's like if you own 20 of these books, which people bought 20 of those books, which is crazy.
Yeah, I spent $1,000 on books. That was
You're
1 grand and
kidding.
$4,500.
What was the benefit of that? Like I forgot. What was the motivation behind that?
It was for Series 2. So he
Mm.
wanted it to be a national bestseller. It was. They took it down because they said he promoted it in a weird way. If you got enough book game tokens, you could then burn book game tokens for VCon tickets or to get special characters in Series 2.
That's what it was. So which two characters do you have? Because I know some of them have like perks I really want.
I have the legit llama
Oh, dude,
and the aspiring alpaca. So I have a little farm.
that's so cool.
And
Dang, dude.
the alpaca right now has a unique reward. You get in some like shoe raffle. So
Huh.
I hope I can sell that before the raffle on
Oh
September
yeah,
5th.
that's nice, dude. So you have no like. Are there any like what would you say is your favorite NFT that you personally own that you don't think like maybe you wouldn't sell even if you could?
Probably my legit llama because I bought it at the top. But yeah, I couldn't afford a VFriend when I started in NFTs. Like I was getting married in 4 months. I couldn't drop the 5 grand on an NFT.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much I flipped to get a VFriend. Pretty much all of last year, and I don't even care that I bought the top. Like I've gotten the 3 Ethereum I put in back,
Okay.
and if everything goes to zero, it goes to zero. That's kind of how I look at things.
No, I'm the exact same way. This back out the 300 I spent almost like a month later. NFT NYC happened, and they had that back out event, which still is what like that was one of the best nights of my life, just
Mhm.
because it was a back out. Did you hear anything about that?
No,
It
I
was
didn't make it this year, unfortunately.
you didn't make it?
No.
That's crazy. So much happened this year. Like on Twitter, I'm not sure you saw, but like Anon decided he'd like to
Hmm.
boycott it mid week. Like that was insane. But anyways, the first day, like Monday, I think it was the day before. There's a place called Spyscape, which is a museum for spies in New York, and they got the second floor. They got the whole building shut off. So like after hours, they had just back call holders. If you wanted to sign up early, you could get into it, and it was like a specifically new Batman slash Spyscape experience, which it wasn't like exclusive, but we were definitely like the alpha team to test out the project. And it was open bar, which they don't sell alcohol there, so like complete open bar, great food. It was like 6 hours of stuff. The CEO of Palm was there, handing out shirts. We like POAPs, all that good stuff. Speaking of POAPs, if you're watching, I'm gonna send the second link for POAPs in the chat right now. So if you want the POAP, go ahead and click on it real fast. But they had a lot of great giveaways. So I always said like if this project immediately ends, even though it's supposed to have a new piece of utility every 52 days for 3 years, I wouldn't be mad if it just ended right now because that night alone was fantastic, and we have the AR Snapchat cows, which I could rep in videos, which I love when NFTs give like actually useful utility rather than like just a T-shirt like they're doing right now for a lot of them.
Yeah, like they can't just sell hoodies and then
Yeah,
give us a free allowless spot for their second drop and then make 4 mil and leave.
yeah.
Like,
Oh my gosh, jeez, like the
like
amount. It's annoying.
like Invisible Friends. What has Invisible Friends done?
Hey,
Nothing. It was probably the most hyped project of like one of the most hyped this year.
yep.
They've done nothing. Literally nothing. Like all you're gonna get is a garbage friend. So like I do think it's a good play to grab an invisible friend right now and then probably sell it in 3 months, but they
Dang,
haven't
dude.
done anything.
Yeah, like I knew that they're so high. Like I don't know. Okay, why is everyone hating on CloneX? Because I'm not gonna lie, getting those like VR suits to be used in the metaverse and like right now, like they airdrop the files to use like your NFT in the actual VR like area. So I think that's super hype. So why was everyone hating on Clone X?
Yeah, they were at 15 June 2nd. Now they're at 9-ish. I don't really know. Let me think. I think people hate on that one because it's kind of a slow burn and it's a really
Mm,
complicated ecosystem. You got the pods, you got the monolith, you have like all this stuff, and like each holder is expected to get rewarded differently, but everyone kind of gets rewarded the same way.
okay.
And with the metaverse and using it, that's so far out. Like people just want the money now. So I think a
Yeah.
lot of people are just kind of short term on CloneX when they got Nike. Like they have probably more cash than any other brand, not Bored Apes.
Yeah. Yeah, Nike's been crazy in this space. Like I did not expect them to pop out like that, but when I saw the videos of what they're doing, that was insane. The whole dynamic NFTs and all that stuff. I did not expect that out the gate from the company like that.
Yeah, and Adidas is just like spending or just shipping people hoodies, and the hoodies are just now getting there. And when did they drop the Adidas into the metaverse?
Oh my gosh. I remember that day specifically. That was everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's cool because as you redeem things, the NFT changes. So it
Yes.
is kind of deflationary. Like it's a good idea, but they haven't executed well. They're at 0.55. But when did these come out? Look at all time. Yeah, these came out December 15th.
Oh, December 15th, really?
So 8 months later, you get your hoodie.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like I came from because the past 3 to 5 years I've been running conventions and convention booths at like Comic Cons, like video game conferences, stuff like that.
Sure.
And I didn't notice this for 3 years. It took me a while to get into it because I just love the scene behind it, and it's just such a great vibe. After talking to a lot of the expo people, I realized that because some people were saying it, and I realized they're accurate. And it's just like some businesses are quite literally set up where you pay like for MegaCon or New York Comic Con, you'll pay $35 just to get into a room to be able to spend more money, whether it's on the actors, whether it's on new merch, whether it's on meet and greets, experiences, new drinks. But people literally just pay for a paywall to then pay more. It's insane, and I saw that's kind of happening with some NFT projects by saying like, oh, if you own this NFT, you will be whitelisted to mint another NFT. But it's like, what's the utility behind that NFT? It's like, oh, another whitelist in a month. It's like, what the heck's going on?
It's a Ponzi. Like I think it's really weird. And I made a couple videos on this week. Like Psychedelics Anonymous has actually built stuff. Like they have coaching, they have merch. They did a really cool event, but there's 50,000 NFTs in their ecosystem. If you got like the first four, then you got another four, and it's like this massive pyramid. And then they tried to sell 15,000 more Izus when they released their balance statements, and they have like 8 mil, 9 mil in the bank. People are like, why do you need more money? Um,
Yeah.
and they've built a ton of stuff, but people are kind of sick of that ecosystem, I think. But I mean, I had a full set at one point. I sold it all for a slight loss.
Dang,
So I'm like,
dude.
it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, a lot of them are like that right now. Even the big names, like there's nothing to be trusted at this point. And then now, what was it? Rick Ryder's ripping on the number one, debatably brand of NFTs with the whole Rip Ryder's Bored Ape Yacht Club. What do you think about
Mhm.
that? Because I'm so confused with what's going. Like I know what's going on. They're calling them all like the racists and all that stuff. But do you think there's like an air of legitimacy to it, or just like a guy trying to make money? Because he has a financial incentive to like attack them at this point.
This is kind of my answer. I think it would be different if Philion did not make the YouTube video. If you look at any of Philion's content, it's just not maybe defaming is the wrong word, but he's pretty much always making fun of people from
Yeah,
fitness to anything. He's ripping on people in every single video for his gain. So him doing it for me loses a lot of credibility. If they didn't release that, so if Philion doesn't upload it and if Ryder Rips isn't tied to it, I'd be like, whoa, like there's a lot of things here. If any more credible source, in my opinion, posted that, I'd be more like, yeah. But it's hard to be like, they pumped this for they made millions off this. So
yeah,
it's I definitely see the coincidences,
yeah,
but you also see the money.
yeah. It's just weird on both sides. And that live stream they did, I was really hoping they would talk a lot more about it. But I'm pretty sure beforehand they probably said like one of their lists of like what not to talk
Oh,
about
I'm sure.
was
Yeah.
on there. But I thought they would want to kind of disclose that and be like, it's absurd. It's not us. It's out of left field. But I don't know. I've been talking to a lot of people about it because I'm like hereditarily Jewish. I'm not like religiously, but like my great great grandma fled Europe because of Hitler, the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, the people are like, oh, what do you think about this whole thing? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, and I don't know if I need to put the time and effort to do it until I'm thinking about investing in them. Because I don't promote Bored Ape Yacht Club at all in general, just because it's such like a high bar for an NFT collection. I'm nowhere near touching it, and I never
Mm.
wanted like the be the whole. I never liked the whole like Supreme brand clothing, just like that super like high end brands in general. Just because I'm a broke boy who doesn't spend money like that. But that's why I didn't really look into it yet myself. But I'm glad it's not like most collections. It's only been like one debatably sus so far.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it's easy for them to say, yeah, they're gunning for the top collection.
Yeah,
And while there are a lot of things that are like weird, and I don't know how much of a tie-in there is to like these guys going on acid trips and what's his name, Gargamel doing writing. Like some of his writing in the past is sketchy.
Really?
Um, yeah, like there's a lot of things that are like, oh, there could be something here, but I mean, out of Ryder Rips or Philion's mouth, I'm not buying a second of it.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like right now, everyone has like secondary motives right now, so it's hard to assess a lot right now. So I guess everyone has to do their like just do what they're called to best. If you were sketched out, that's why some people decided to like burn their board apes, even sending to like burner wallets.
Mhm.
I thought it was just insane, but hey, rich people do what they were gonna do, man. I'm not thinking twice about that stuff.
Yeah,
So
do whatever you want to do with your bags.
exactly, but so you own those two blue chips that I know of right now, V Friends and World of Woman. Is there any other like blue chip that you have on deck?
I have probably no more blue chips. I sold all my World of Women. I don't like where that project's going.
Okay.
They're not adding business people. They just have artists.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, NFT projects don't work if you don't tell people what's happening next. And they keep
Really?
building all this mystery. And it's like, I don't care about mystery. I want to know what I'm getting. Like, I want to know what to expect. So, like, a lot of
Huh.
people ripped on Kevin Rose for saying, like, yeah, Moonbirds 2 is coming out. And then in 4 months, there's going to be this airdrop. He laid everything out this year. And now he's taken the hype out of things. I like that. A lot of
Interesting.
people were fudding that today. But yeah, World of Women is like, yeah, we're building this like metaverse and you can reveal these things for something, but you gotta know. And it's like this is dumb because now we can't properly value these assets. And I took some big L on one of my galaxies, but it's like, I'm done.
That's like a very unpopular opinion because what I hear a
Mhm.
lot from because I've been really low key on Twitter because I found out people like NFT God and Nate hates Alex or
Oh,
something
I
like
love
that.
NFT God.
Right? Like he's very useful. I almost didn't follow him because I'm a Christian. I saw that. I'm like, is this blasphemous? I'm like, it's fine. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. But so I saw his stuff, and a lot of people say like because of Goblin Town, their whole collection was built on mystery and storytelling. So like people thought for a second, utility was like of the past. It's all about the mystery of it. So when I heard you say that, I was like, that's a very interesting take.
Yeah, my take is more on like NFTs that are trying to be businesses. Like there's always going to be a meme like MFers or Goblin Town. They can
Yeah.
do whatever they want because they're not guaranteeing anything. But when you're like airdropping capacitors or serums and not telling people what's going to happen, that's when I get a little frustrated.
I feel that. That's why, like, any project I'm making right now, I'm always making sure to have a clear timeline, a clear idea of like where it's going, and everything, full expectations. Because I'm just a straightforward guy. I don't want there to be any sus. Like, oh, what are you doing with all that? What's the plan here? Like, I'm just like, you should know. If you're putting money into it, you should know. So
Like
that's
if it's going to be Goblin Town, just let that thing run. Just be hilarious. Go on Twitter Spaces and be like, it's hilarious. Like they can't mess up. Like you literally can't mess up Goblin Town. You could argue they dropped too many secondary assets to people like the Goblin
yeah.
Burger, but they have nothing to lose at that point. But with any project like in the top 10, like V Friends, if they just were like, yeah, no more conference, be like, all right, sick. These are going to zero.
Yeah, honestly, it's I'm loving everything going on with NFTs right now. But
I'm
what?
too. It's been a fun couple weeks.
So is this your full-time gig then right now?
Yeah, at the moment, I host NFT auctions and I'm the kind of the video editor and content manager for the Nifty portal. And you were just mentioning NFT God. He is the second biggest holder of
Huh.
Nifty portals. So he's a big member of that community. But
Interesting. I've been getting a ton of emails from Nifty Portals, and I honestly had no idea because I know I signed up for them. I just forgot entirely what they were until
yeah, the Daily Digest.
okay, yeah. So what exactly is a portal then, just in general?
Pretty much all the NFT does right now is get you into the private Ethereum chat.
Okay.
It doesn't do much. They just did it for a funding round. There are things coming out, but can't really
Yeah.
go into it.
Oh yeah, no problem whatsoever. I feel that. Nice, man. That's solid. I'm always looking forward for some new projects going on. So if you had to choose
It's the same.
something, oh no, continue.
It's. I was just gonna say like Nifty Portal is like the same thing as Rug Radio, Zen Academy. You're just betting on content creators. And
Honestly,
they
I found out that's actually like kind of a good move right now. I'm not sure.
great
Do you
move.
know Kagiyan or Kagijan?
What's his Twitter?
I think it's spelled weird. It's CAGY GAAN. He is an NF3. Yeah, that's him.
Oh
Peggy
yeah.
Ann with a 1. He's an NFT. He's like a Web3 gamer he has like a whole gaming brand behind him and everything. It's pretty interesting seeing his stuff and what he's been doing. But now with that whole SSC debacle, I don't know if it's allowed to be happening anymore. But it's basically if you own his NFTs, each one of the NFTs, it's a percentage royalty from all of his video profits. Which it's awesome. I forgot I didn't even think about that happening for a second because I guess he makes so much money. It's a great way to start a collection. It's straight up royalties on something. But now with the whole SEC saying if you ever promise anything with monetary incentives or any type of monetary gain promises, it's regulated, so it's going to be like shut down.
Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, it's easy for him to just be like, yeah, this is my AdSense for the month and split it.
Honestly, I think it's genius. I don't really like the SEC again on everything. And did you see the Dan Pena video I posted?
No, it's probably
Oh,
the Bitcoin clip.
okay, yeah. It's from like a year or so ago. It's been on my mind a lot this week. And long story short, it's just it's a clip of Dan Pena talking about Bitcoin. And for those who don't know, Dan Pena is like he's named the $1 trillion man. He's a huge self-made uh millionaire, probably billionaire, some guy, huge, widely respected in the finance world. And there's a clip of someone asking, "Are you into Bitcoin?" He's like, "Well, I called the top, and to be honest, I know who created Bitcoin." He claims he knows 100%. He's like, "I know 100% who created Bitcoin." And the second the man comes out or the person comes out and says, "I made it," the Bitcoin's gonna drop to zero immediately, like same second. Which obviously is an expression because Bitcoin can never truly hit zero without like a huge debacle. But I think that's
Right.
interesting he said that. But as of recently, he came out to finally say who it was himself. He claims it's Putin. Yeah, I know. Like it was a very cool mystery behind it. And then he recently came out as like, yeah, it was Putin the whole time to stabilize America. So it's an interesting thought process, nevertheless.
Didn't Putin just ban crypto in Russia?
That's what I'm just saying, man. He's this whole thing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's Putin,
I
but
don't either.
what people were saying, like the whole reason I brought it up, because what people were saying in the comments were like the U.S. government might have created it, but I honestly I wouldn't doubt it. Except they're fighting it so heavily in America right now. Like they're doing their best to regulate every section of it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how much regulation helps getting new people in. Like regulation could pump a lot of our bags.
Yeah,
Um,
but also it's one of those things where like what people hate more than anything in the space are the scams, which is valid. All the people losing all their money, all their like hundreds of thousands of dollars are probably stolen every week over just scams, which makes sense. And people are saying, "Oh, we need it. We need people behind it to know like where the money's going and when they pull out." By doing that, we are now tracking who owns what and where it's going, and now we're back to currency, like fiat currency, basically.
yeah, there's no good answer. But yeah,
Exactly.
it's complicated and no one knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, which is
No one on Wall Street or not Wall Street, no one on Capitol Hill even knows what the blockchain is. Oh,
Oh my gosh,
there's
yeah.
that problem too.
Watching the those interviews or those interrogations, basically, it's like explain it to me right now. Same thing what happened with Zuckerberg. They're like, "Can this track me?" And he's like, "Well, if you let it." He's like, "That's not a straight answer." It's like it's not a straightforward question. It's a complicated question. It's not just like a singular answer right there.
Right.
So what's a good NFT that you're not associated with that's not blue chip that you would say like might be a good project to look into?
Um, I mean, punks. I'm curious on Moonbirds. What happens in the next 7 days after the meeting today?
Oh,
If it goes under 10, like 8, 9, where it was maybe like 2 weeks ago, I'd be interested. Um, Other Deed, if it goes under 1. Um, Doodles, 10 KTF. I mean, you can do a lot with 10 KTF and the speculation on other side and integrations that they're having.
why does that one sound so
Um,
familiar? 10 KTF?
it's like metaverse wearables, so like the NFTs are like clothing items.
Okay. All right.
Wolf game too. The full game's going to come out in Q4, so there's some speculation you could go with there.
Interesting, dude. Jeez.
Cool Cats. I don't. I think the Cool Cats they continue to mess everything up, and they're at 2.4. They just hired on a bunch of people. Maybe something good happens in a month.
I swear, every time a project's going under, they hire more people, and I feel like it almost always gets worse. I've never heard of that going positively, without like at least
Oh,
not
huge
publicly.
gamble.
Yeah.
Huge gamble. It's a weird time right now. I mean, royalties are going to zero. These companies, these NFT projects are going to have to find out ways to make money and offer products. So Kevin Rose wants to build like an NFT hub. So like you sync your wallet, you sign in, and it's like all the news from just your stuff. So like that's the product he's trying to build. Um, so anyone that just is talking about ways they're going to make money other than creator fees, I'd be bullish on. But
Interesting.
that's hard to answer right now.
That's definitely valid. It's always. I feel like the NFT space has been changing every 2 months because it used to be all about utility. Then it was all about or it was all about community. Then utility. Then they said like mystery. Then it's what was it? It's what's going on right now? Like they're all claiming something else was something happening.
Right now is kind of like
That's what
CCO,
it was.
creator royalties,
Yes.
pseudo swap.
So what would you say about CC0? Because I know people are split. In my opinion, I don't think it for like a brand it's a great idea because if the NFTs are so expensive, and the way to get the money back from it is kind of to like license it out or sub-license it, but you can't do that really if it's CCO. There's no incentive to do that. What do you think about all that?
I think it's tough to have an opinion unless you're invested in it. Um, like Moonbirds, I think did a terrible job. I think that's the worst
Yeah.
thing. I think CCO is a great thing. I mean, and you gotta take risks. I think it's betting on people. The only people that are going to do something with their ape, for example, are like hustlers. Like I don't think someone's going to go out of their way to make something stupid for something they invested in. I mean, someone will. Someone will create a DAO, buy an ape, and make some stupid thing with their ape. But we haven't seen anything really bad come out of it so far.
Yeah, yeah, nothing else. I'm not gonna lie, CC0 has been great for me because I'm working on my NFT board game comes out, or at least finishes production whenever my NFT collection sells all 1,000. And I love it because I've been going through NFT CC0 projects, and I can add them all in my game completely free. All these blue chips projects, oftentimes, without having to like break the bank whatsoever. I still love to work with the community like in any way possible, whoever's willing. But this is just a great way. It is a great way to get like the brand out there without needing to worry about people like the people behind it actually using it well. Because now anyone can use it like in any way they want whatsoever.
Yeah, I it's just like that one famous painting. I just this is that like that wave painting, that
Yes,
famous like wave. Like there was a story
yes,
the other week, like someone sold 50,000 of those on Etsy, and it's
yeah.
like, yeah,
I
I
saw
mean,
that.
someone can do that with Moonbirds. Um, I would be mad if I invested in Moonbirds and that happened, but I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
not
it's a
gonna
good
lie.
thing. The only projects I think that don't make sense are like Pudgy Penguins or V Friends or Cool Cats, like trying to build out IP.
Yeah,
Like if
that's
I
true.
own the legit llama and they're trying to put the legit llama in cartoons, I shouldn't be able to put the legit llama on like a fast food restaurant. And it's
Yeah,
different than what they're trying to do with it.
yeah. I
So
think
like I'm
some.
not mad I don't have rights to my V Friends, but it makes sense in that regard.
Oh yeah, same thing with my back call. Like I was kind of hoping I'd be able like sell out copies of it without having
Mhm.
to need a licensing for it. They're like, no, no, no. But they're nice about it because they flat out said like as long as you own the NFT. Like for me, I started selling there was a vote for the Bat Cows to which Batarang do they want Batman to have in the comic. There are three designs, and I had a free day, and my main source of income, since I don't make money from like NFTs, I do it through 3D printing, my 3D print factory with
Well,
Web
there we go.
three, and so I took a couple hours. I just designed them. I started selling them to the community, and they all like the people that run the Bat Cows, which is DC. They know about it, what I'm selling, and they're like, "Oh, that looks really cool. Congrats! Like, hope you do well." So they're super like bullish on the community, which is fantastic to see. Same thing with do you know about the Matrix project?
Not off the top of my head, no.
It's by a company called Nifty's. They have a bunch of Warner Brother IPs. Like they did the Space Jam NFTs. They're doing the Looney Tunes NFTs. They're doing the Matrix NFTs, and most likely it's if I would say Nifty's is building to an actual like Warner Brothers metaverse, which is gonna be, if it looks anything like multiverses, it's gonna be fantastic.
That's cool.
Yeah, they have a bunch of cool projects. But yeah, the reason why did I even ask about the Matrix NFTs? I forgot that train of logic. Dang it. Oh yeah, so they're also very bullish on community. They're super supportive of the community developers there, which is so key. Because I know some other people have been banned from some NFT communities for trying to make third-party tools like rarity calculators that weren't directly licensed, and the people were just like kicking them out. I'm like, that's the worst way to deal with this.
It is weird. You see so many companies pretty much build the same thing. Like I just saw this company called NFT Flip. It's like NFT Nerds Light. It's a ripoff. It seems to be easy to build these smart contract monitors.
Yeah, I've seen honestly, a lot of celebrities hopping on doing the same thing as well. But
Mhm.
Chris Brown's
Yeah,
NFTs sold like I think 100 maybe out of 90,000, something like that. But Tory Lane sold out in I think less than an hour. All of it, the whole collection.
wow. Like Gronk, he made like 1.2 mil off of his drop,
The
and there's
Rock?
been one sale in the last 4 months. Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, did The Rock with an NFT collection I didn't know
Oh
about?
no
What
no
the
no,
heck?
he didn't.
Oh, that's crazy.
Gronkowski, yeah.
And then now all these older companies are using what was Nickelodeon on?
It's Recur.
Recur. What do you think of the Recur project?
Oh, I hate it.
Wait,
I,
really?
I mean, if I had a pass, like it's really good for flipping,
Yeah, that's very
but
true.
if you're gonna flip it, I mean, it's sick, but there's nothing there. Like I would, if I had a pass and I was making money, I'd be like, oh, best project ever. But I don't have one. But like the Hello Kitties is like you get a Hello Kitty, you take this thing, you put it on a passport, you send off your
Yeah.
passport to get 3 pictures. So it's like one picture turns into three. Well, it's like, okay, we're gonna take 10,000, turn it into 40,000 after every NFT gets 4 pictures now.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I've seen some collections do that. I saw one on TikTok that people were really hating on him. And he's like, guys, I want to give you NFTs. Because apparently the whole contract on the NFT was for every NFT you send to someone, like willingly, you get 2 NFTs. Like it basically just splits into 3 because you send them one and you get 2 of them in your wallet, and it just multiplies like that. Which I think it's an interesting concept, but I would hate to see the economics. I don't think it'd be. I don't know how that'd work profitably speaking. Like, how would they be worth anything if you're literally tripling them every time they're used?
Yeah, I don't know. Like the recur thing I think is cool. I like it. I just hate it when they're like, "Yeah, we're going to get new people into NFTs through this." It's like I don't think someone's going to come in to get a picture that doesn't do anything and then get 4 more. Like I just
Yeah.
don't like that they say that.
Yeah, one thing I've seen a lot work out so far is that the key, and I wish I could have done it with my project, but it costs 2,000. It costs like 2.2K right now for me to have someone code it onto my contract. Is the fiat minting that has gotten every project I've seen with fiat minting, which so far has been Backhouse, Matrix, and a couple others. They have had the best immediate community and also the most amount of first time users for a community. Like so many people are like, I don't know anything about any other community. I don't know anything about NFTs whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about with MetaMask or address, but I like Batman. I'm gonna buy this with my credit card.
Yeah, that's like the only case of centralization is good.
Yeah,
Because like I don't want centralization. I mean, none of us do, but when you see stuff like that, it's like, I mean, if that pumps my bags a little bit, let's do it. Because you do
yeah,
see a lot of people buy like NFL All Day or Top Shot because it's easy. So
yeah. Top Shot had a huge. Top Shot was like one of the first big like bursts for NFTs. That was a
like no
crazy
one was
market.
using their Flow wallets. Everyone was using credit card.
Oh, 100%, 100%. So what do you think about the like KYC? That's been a lot relevant with like these bigger companies to get rid of the bots and everything, or maybe that's just their excuse. But what do you think about the KYC?
Um, it's hard to give an opinion without reading the contract details. I think with the other side, there was something that said Animoca had to report back to the SEC.
Okay.
Um, I think it's just one of the terrible things that we're not going to be able to avoid. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
we'll have KuCoin, we'll have some stuff that we can kind of stay off the books, but the longer and the more developed this gets, it's going to happen.
that's true.
Like, how can a company partner with a game to build a game without like the game can't take on all that risk to then drop a $10,000 asset to just some random dude.
Yeah, that's pretty
I mean,
that's
it's
accurate.
I hate giving that answer, but I think that's where it's kind of at.
Yeah, because all I know is that the second, because I didn't use VV. I tried using VV,
I
uh,
never touched
well,
it.
2 Christmases ago, something like that, because of
Mm.
the Groot animated Christmas NFT, whatever that was. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I have my alarm set. It's Christmas Day. I'm like, I'm down for this. And I went in line. I put coins in my account. I pressed like mint the second you could press mint, and still it was instantly sold out. I did the same thing for the Eye of Augmato, just because I was a huge Marvel fan. Not really the MCU, but huge for the comic books. I'm like, it's still a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
So I tried doing it, same story, like boom, gone. And then when I heard lightsabers announced, I'm like, I'm not even gonna try. I am done. I 100% give up on it. And they said, oh, we got rid of a ton of the bots since we started KYC. And turns out, like I got my lightsaber 12 hours after the project started minting, and I was still able to get one. So it's kind of there's some benefits for sure, but yeah, I'm not sure how much I like it like overall for like the whole market.
Yeah, that's what I hope. Like Ethereum and OpenSea and that kind of stuff will always be hands off because you got to send it back to Coinbase anyways. Like they're